The sun had barely begun to rise above the emerald canopy of the Amazon when Carlos and his crew pushed their small fishing boat into the mist-covered river. The jungle was waking up, howler monkeys cried in the distance, and the air smelled of rain and wildflowers. But fate had other plans. They were drifting near a quiet bend of the river when something large splashed in the water ahead. At first, Carlos thought it was a log. But then it moved. A massive head broke the surface, followed by the sleek, spotted body of a jaguar. A jaguar, his friend Mateo gasped. In the river? Carlos froze. Jaguars were known to swim, but never this close to people. And certainly not toward a boat. The animal struggled against the current, barely keeping its head above the water. Blood spread like red smoke in the river around it. Back the boat away. Mateo hissed, panicking. But Carlos saw something in the animal's eyes, something he never thought he'd see in a predator's gaze. Fear. Desperation. The jaguar let out a deep, rasping growl, not of anger, but of pain. Then, against all logic, it pressed its front paws weakly against the side of the boat, as if asking for help. Carlos's heart pounded. Every instinct screamed at him to stay away. But another voice, quieter, deeper, told him to do the unthinkable. He grabbed a rope, looped it carefully, and tossed it toward the animal. The jaguar didn't resist. Its strength was fading fast. Together, the men used the oars to steady the boat and hauled the huge cat closer. The sight made their stomachs turn. A jagged wound tore across its hind leg, fresh and bleeding, as if it had been caught in a hunter's steel trap. God help us, Mateo whispered. They couldn't take it back to the village, it would cause panic. Instead, they steered toward a narrow riverbank shaded by palm trees. Carlos remembered an old wooden hut nearby, once used by his uncle for storing fishing nets. That would be their refuge. As soon as they reached land, the jaguar collapsed, panting heavily. Its golden eyes fluttered open only when Carlos knelt beside it. He tore a piece of cloth from his shirt, soaked it in river water, and pressed it against the wound. For hours, they worked in silence, cleaning, bandaging, praying the animal wouldn't lash out. But the jaguar seemed to understand. Every time Carlos approached, it stopped trembling and let him touch its side. Days passed. They brought fish and water. The jaguar ate slowly, watching them with cautious trust. It never tried to harm them. One night, as rain drummed on the hut's roof. The next morning, the jaguar was gone. The bandages lay torn near the doorway, and fresh tracks led into the forest. For a moment, Carlos felt both relief and sadness. He thought that was the end of it. But 2 weeks later, as he was mending nets by the river, he sensed something watching him. He turned, and there, across the water, half hidden by the trees, stood the jaguar.